Hello, everybody. Let me just check in with my radio guys. They're going. Our video guys are going. And look who I have in the studio today. The one and only Dave Wheeler. Welcome to the show, Dave.
Thanks. I'm getting a little long in the tooth, so thanks for reminding me what my name was.
And you know, when you see this mug in the show, you know what that means, right?
It's agenda time.
It's a city council agenda time. My name is Paul Kalemir, and of course, I am with Dave Wheeler. This is your city, your voice. If you don't believe me, just look up there. That's what it says. In the studios of 4680Q, downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, coming to you live at noon, of course, right across from the meteor crater. And you know, somebody from California that I know said, you gotta go out and shoot a video of the meteor crater because you keep talking about it. I want to see this thing. It's starting to become a thing.
International renown
Meteor crater. And before we get started, though, Wheels, we got to give our buddy a big shout out. It's his birthday today. Gary Wilkins.
Oh, boy.
And he said he's expecting a shirt. I want that shirt, he said.
Is he still down east?
I don't even know where he is. He could be down Gorge.
Well, he was heading down east on the 11th or 12th, I remember. And so I assumed that that's where he ended up. But you never know with Gary.
Yeah,
it could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere. But happy birthday wherever thou artst.
Yes, Gary, and I will shop out a shirt for you.
Yeah,
right after the show, I'm going right to the thrift store to see if I can find something suitable.
Oh, he loves it.
Yeah,
he talks about it all the time.
My shirt, yeah.
Yeah, every time he talks about it.
He loves it.
Yeah, so there you go, right? Yeah. Big advocate of Niagara Falls, Gary is.
Yes.
So happy birthday to you, President of Doge Niagara.
Yes, indeed. I don't know if he's had any more success than Elon did, but
he's doging it.
He's doging it.
That's it. So that's about the accolades we're going to give out here this morning. We're going to get into the city council agenda, of course, but first my sponsors: Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, Hamill Machine Company, and Niagara Parks Commission. Now, you know, we look out here, and of course, we're getting into the fall here. September's not that far away, Davey boy, and you're going to be moving around in the fall, heading towards winter, and you want to make sure your car's running right. So what do? Call up Ken Hunter at Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. You ask him to check over your car. He'll do a computer scan of it. He'll give you the error codes, fix them all up for you. Make sure your brakes are good. Make sure everything's running right for winter. Along with, I think I just heard a lion from The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I may have. Yeah, I have my phone on. I got to turn it off.
Yeah, even he goes to Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop too. But you're going to get your car checked over. Make sure it's running right. Make sure it's safe. Make sure your heater's working for the winter. We're going to get there. Don't worry about it. Don't let the weather fool you. We know it's coming in the fall. Just go there. Go to wildbillsauto.ca. Check it out. Make an appointment. Be proactive. Get your car fixed. He's got a full body shop too. He'll, if you get in a wreck or anything, he'll take your car in, give it back to you in showroom condition. You can't beat it. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Support our sponsors because they're good corporate citizens. They support the show. And while you're watching the show or while you're on the internet, don't forget to subscribe. Thumbs up, thumbs down, commentary, whatever. Make sure you subscribe. It helps the algorithm. The more subscriptions, the better. We are getting to an election coming up in 2026. We want everybody involved. This is an important election. They're spending your money. We talk about it all the time, Dave. And you should know where they're spending your money. That's why you want to tune into the show. You want to share it, and you want to subscribe. It costs nothing. Okay, Davey boy. So my first dive into the agenda starts with item 7.2. After we start with the usuals, "Oh Canada," they sing, and whatever Makeba is. You know what Makeba is?
I think it's probably a person of some kind, or is it a band? Or
no, it's whatever that. I don't know what it means. It's Makeba. Is that some kind of a language or an indigenous language for O Canada or something? I don't know. O Canada Makeba, it says.
Well, I was at the Mental Cup lacrosse tournament in St. Catharines last week.
Okay.
And halfway through, they started to introduce the Haudenosaunee national anthem, as well as the Canadian one. First, they just did the Canadian one, but when they got halfway through the organization, maybe that's something to do with it.
Yeah,
maybe that's it.
I knew Glenn McCabe.
Okay, yeah, I knew all the McCabes, to tell you the truth.
But I didn't know McCabe. So we have deputations, presentations. Anything in there you want to mention? Deputations, presentations?
Well, the only thing is the Terry Fox thing. They
oh yeah, right. They had a city hall a few weeks ago. There.
Yeah. So on September 14th, there's a spokesperson here for the Terry Fox annual run for 2025.
Oh, beautiful.
So it's a good public service thing to get people recognizing that and to come out and start to register and all of that. So that's good public service. I don't think it's a waste of time. It's not like giving medals to people and going on and on about stuff.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good public service thing to make people aware.
He's not related to Michael J. Fox, is he? Both from Vancouver. Or from British Columbia. I don't know. Maybe
could be.
Cousin. I never heard that, but who knows, right? Okay, so item 7.2 we're going to get to is going to be interesting as it discusses the status of the new hospital they're building. There's a presentation about it, what it's going to look like when finished, and the services it will provide. Pretty interesting. So I suggest everybody, if they can, tune in to watch 7.2 because 41 million of your tax dollars plus are going to pay that bill for that new hospital, all headed toward the grand opening in 2028. So you may want to know what they're doing with your money. That's why I'm going to watch. I like to know.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that should be a good presentation. We'll see where we're at. And they're talking about, another couple of years, 2.5 years, it's going to be open. So that should be something to see when it's done. Tim Shafley keeps us updated on pictures.
Good show, Tim.
Good show, Tim. You're right out there. So that's about it. But I'd watch that if I were somebody watching the show tomorrow at 4:00. It starts for us.
Well, they got the in-camera thing first, right?
Yeah, and by the time they finish their pizza and wings, it's probably about 5. But it officially starts at 4. And you can watch it on Kojigo. Their stations, sometimes they carry it YouTube or the NiagaraFalls.ca website, which is where you can also find the agenda we're talking about today.
Indeed.
Item 8.1 is planning.
Well, the hospital thing, I go back to that. That's going to be their propaganda. Basically, they're going to tell you how wonderful they are.
Oh, the hospital is? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what's going to happen.
But if you really look into it, I would, if you really wanted to see if it's efficient and money well spent, I would look into how they acquired the land, what land they have yet to acquire, and I don't know, fashioning out who was the contractors and all that other stuff. So it's a little bit way over my pay grade, but if you really want to dig into it, those are the areas. Do not pay too much attention to this propaganda.
Yeah, well, the presentation is exactly that, right?
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
They don't show you the warts; they show you all the beauty and everything else.
That's right.
Item 8.1: planning. Permit vacation rental units with the 34 existing townhouse dwellings. Now, 7 were approved when built, and now they want them all approved. And that is at the piece of land where the Coke plant used to be on Main Street, corner of Main Street and Robinson Street. They built all housing in there. And the city approved 7 of them for short-term vacation rental units. And now they want them all designated that. Of course, recommendation from staff is to approve it. They need a zoning bylaw amendment to do it. And I think council will probably vote yes. And it makes sense. You're in the tourist area. That's what these places are supposed to be in. The guys who built them didn't think that they'd be using it for that. But it makes sense where they are. Robinson Street is, you walk down Robinson Street, you're in the tourist district and at the Skyline and the casino and Murray Hill and everything. It makes sense that they would allow that. So I think, Dave, my opinion is they're going to say yes. And to me, it makes sense. I don't know about you.
Oh, they definitely are because it is the city's own proposal that they change it from a minor commercial zone into a general commercial zone, so that all 34 townhouses can then be accepted as part-time residential. So that's what they did. Instead of trying to take 7 out of it, and I think it was the other way around, like 26 were within the commercial zone and six or seven were in the residential zone of that property. They take that whole piece of property, redesignated it as commercial, um, general commercial zone. That way, all 34 properties can lend out their, use them as, Airbnbs, whatever you want, that kind of thing. However, I have a problem, or haven't heard of yet a problem from the hoteliers, but I'm sure things are going to start stirring. I think they're going to see this as a competition to their business if this keeps happening, particularly when it's getting close to the falls themselves. So I feel that they might find that that's a bit of an imposition, especially even on Main Street. You have those little hotels right there close to
Yes.
Murray Street, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what are they going to think about that?
Well, once they get all the refugees out of these hotels, there might be a problem. Until then, they're happy. They're full.
Yeah, well, I don't know if those ones are full. The ones down there, the ones up on Lundy's Lane, yeah, they're dancing the jig. Yeah, they've got steady income coming in.
Well, I think that the city really does have to look towards the future because Stan Cho, the Minister of Tourism, says he wants to double the tourism to the Niagara Falls in the Niagara region itself, from 14 million to 28, 30 million a year. They're making moves to do that. So they're going to need these short-term rentals. That's, what people look for these days. The lodging situation has changed over the years, and people are really looking for these short-term rental units. So what I see a problem is this like parking as usual. We always talk about that. You start getting a couple cars or three cars in there and people visiting and doing whatever. And then all of a sudden, they're going to be all along Robinson Street and clogging up the side streets and everything. I don't know if anybody will ask about that, but they also have to be licensed too. So these things are going to be licensed, but they got to pay to be able to use them for that. So there's 34 more units at X number of dollars per unit, which puts money in the city as well.
I'm not so sure how much because they will not their tax increases will not go above residential. So that part of it, they won't increase their taxes. They may charge regulatory fees, that kind of thing. So that may be a bit of a cash cow
I think
for the
commercial
city.
might even be less than residential. Is it? I don't know.
Well, it says here that they're going to minor commercial and general commercial are pretty much in the same range as residential. So I don't know if they're going to get much money out of it. It does fulfill a need, however, and they can use then they have a thing called the Drummondville, which that is the area of Niagara Falls it is. Used to be the little town of Drummondville. Intensification node. So it fits into that.
Yeah.
Fits into that
Yeah,
plan.
yeah, true enough.
They have claimed that it will not hurt any of the businesses. The people in and around there are pretty much used to mixed commercial and residential. They have been for a long time, or ever since going back to the old Coca-Cola days. So yeah, I think they'll just kind of rubber stamp this, make it a general commercial zone, and allow all 34 to rent as they please.
Yeah, I know. Last time it came before council, there's a little bit of discussion about it. Ruth Newestake, Councilor Newestake, said she liked the idea because that's where we're headed with the city with stuff, and it fits in the area. So on this one, I don't agree with her much, but on this one, I would say she's probably pretty bang on. And I don't know who was against it, but I think it'll get passed anyway.
I don't know. She might want that all seniors have those.
Yeah, right.
Have them for free.
short drive there.
Yeah, yeah.
Short roll.
Yeah. So anyway, I think it's probably just there is. I was looking for complaints or anything from the residents, which would be the only imposition to this. And there hasn't been anything local.
Yeah, there's not much around there anyway. Item 9.1. This yeah, it's time. It's time. Willoughby Historical Museum. It's just not. Nobody's going there. Close it down. Move all exhibits to the empty exchange or wherever they want to put them. City Hall or whatever it has to do with the exhibits there, the memorabilia, and close it down. That's what they want to do. But we were kids. We always had a trip to the Willoughby Museum to see artifacts from the War of 1812 and the Battle of Chippewa and everything else. Right? It was a pretty cool place, but I just don't think this generation today could care less about it. And I don't know how many people are going there. Not a lot, I don't think.
Well, for one thing, it's not well advertised. For one thing,
You don't even know it's there.
You don't even know it's there. And like the city doesn't promote it, they should. But I mean, the reality is that it's a one room and it's far away. What's going to happen to the building? I don't know. It belongs to the Niagara Parks Commission,
Yes.
so they'll have jurisdiction over it. So but it costs what? I put it down here somewhere: $28,000 or
$20,841 or something.
I had it written out. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it costs. Well, I didn't write it down. $20,000 $something in here anyway.
Yeah, per year they're up to have staff there and that.
Yeah,
they only open 2 days a week now.
Yeah, so basically though, it will cost a lot of money to take the stuff out of there. They have over 10,000 artifacts.
Yeah,
10,000.
But they're all this big.
Yeah, I mean, musket ball or something.
Yeah, you can fit them in a Walmart shopping bag, probably the whole thing. They're all like little things. But yeah, it's going to cost money to move them.
Yeah, and they're going to have to be archived, and they're going to have to be, well, what do they call it? Deaccessioned, which means some of them are going to thought, well, it's not really worth having these.
Yeah,
right.
They really.
If you have 10, if you've got 100 musket balls, well, you may only need 10.
How many do you need?
So
sell them.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things there that would be important. So all the whole assessment and recategorization and restorage and redisplay of this stuff will cost us $317,000.
Unbelievable.
You could keep that place open for 12 years for that money.
Good
so
point.
You got to wonder, is it really economically feasible? You may get this stuff. Well, I think your idea of taking that white elephant on Sylvia Road, the exchange, making it a museum.
Yeah, the War of 1812 exchange.
Yeah. The Willoughby Exchange.
Yeah, there you go. The Willoughby Exchange. That sounds like a big financial center.
Yeah. Since they're not using it for much now, it could be used for a museum.
Yeah.
Or at least parts of it.
Yeah, they could. And
it's right behind the other museum, so.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Why have all these things going and costing taxpayers money? Yeah. Item 9.2, development charges treasurer's statement. Interesting to note that the deferred revenue balance is $34.1 million. The same as the number for those in tax arrears. I found that those two numbers match perfect. And I don't know if it has anything to do with if it means anything, but I just had to say that because it kind of was weird. But I read the report, and I hope the address at City Council will explain it a little better because I see how they get the numbers and the explanations are there. What it all means. Well, I hope they kind of go through that and explain it, the treasurer's report, because you can read the numbers and come up with them, but like, what's it all mean? I didn't get a feel for what it all meant.
Well, yeah. So you have these reserves and different kind of reserves, and the reserves are there to stave off. They're either made for specific or other issues, but usually they're there for unintended expenses. So you have a reserve fund that you're not using in your budget. You suddenly get a big need for cash for something. It's been a disaster. Normally what you do if you didn't have that reserve fund is then have to turn to the taxpayer next year and say, look, we had to pay $50 million more to have this flood fixed, and we're going to have to turn to you to up your taxes. But the reserve fund is like a shock absorber, basically. So what happens if you do have a major flood or a specific thing you have to build, a one-time issue or whatever, you don't have to turn to the taxpayer right away. You have this reserve fund that takes up that shock. And so they're useful if they're used right. And it also says that development charge acts must be reviewed every 10 years, which is something interesting too. So it's, I would like to hear it more well explained myself.
I agree 100%. I read through it, but I'm going, oh, wow. Like this is pretty crazy. I get where they get the numbers; they all add up in that, but how it's actually worked around with reserve funds and the squirrel putting money away and everything else is,
And the development funds they're talking about here,
yeah.
So just basically the analyst is that city development charge study, and of course it's supposed to go to general government, roads and related whatever. The Ontario law says 60% of it has to go to water, wastewater, or roads.
Yeah, a lot of the revenue that we have coming in from different things, development charges, that they can only be allocated by provincial mandate to certain things. Mm-hmm. So, everybody thinks, oh, we got all this money coming in, we just blow it the way we want. No, certain percentages of development charges, development fees have to go to, whatever it is, whether it's infrastructure or whatever. You can't just blow it on ping pong tables, so.
Yeah, I'm so disappointed we don't have another 100 cement ping pong tables.
I never even saw the first one yet.
Well, we can't, according to this. We can't just, we got all this funds, we could have used them for ping pong tables, but
yeah.
Very well, I guess we can't. The government says we can't.
Item 9.3, this is going to be interesting as it's about the speed camera initiative, and I'm going to get to that after my second sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. And everybody loves pizza, let's face it. I don't know anybody myself who doesn't like pizza. What they don't like is inconsistent pizza. If they don't like pizza, once you get a place that makes it consistently, then you're good to go. You're ready to roll. Now, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, they know how to do it. They use the Mancini family recipe that's been around for 40 years for the sauce and the crust. They take a beautiful blend of mozzarella and brick cheese for the cheese. They know how to mix it in the right ratios on the crust. They cook it to perfection, deliver it to your place hot, and guess what? You can't beat that. How can you beat that in a pizza? Fresh toppings, you name them, they've got them. But they're not a one-trick pony. They have the beautiful chicken wings, steak and cheese poutine, steak sandwiches, panzerotti. They have a whole menu that's going to make you very happy. They're going to please everybody. Guaranteed you'll find something you like. If in the odd circumstance you just dropped in from Mars and you don't like pizza, maybe Martians don't like
back
pizza.
To Mars,
yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Pete's Pizza, Victoria Avenue, 905-374-2222. That's all you order one of these beauties. Or you can go to their website, pizzavictoria.ca, or they use Skip and Dine and Dash and all the other services. They do it all. Very, very easy. Give them a call today. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you, and we thank you for supporting our sponsors. They're good corporate citizens. They support the city, and they support the show. Thank you very much.
They have diet pizza.
Diet pizza.
I'm afraid to go there because if I go there, I might just keep eating.
Diet pizza. What was that, like a cauliflower crust? And
yeah, something.
I think if you need diet pizza, you're better off ordering something else.
Better off going to Mars.
Mm-hmm. It's like going into a bar and saying, "Do you guys have Coors Light?" And they bring you a glass of water, and they say, "Here you go, you got it."
Yeah, it says Coors on the glass.
Item 9.3 is the speed camera initiative, and it's been so successful in the region at making money because that's all it is a tax grab. If you decide you want to speed, no problem. You just have to pay for it. That's how it works. So the city loved it so much. Now they're going to get their own and set them up. See, they were only on regional roads before. It was a regional initiative. Now the city's getting in on the action. The city wants action. They need some action. So they're going to start putting them in other places.
Because their cut of that camera is $289,549.
Not bad.
That's just their cut of the regional cameras.
Yeah, of the regional.
It is a money. Yeah, but that's what the city gets. That's their city portion of it.
For having them in our city on regional roads. But wait till they have their own. These things generate millions of dollars a year. The company that runs them gets the lion's share of the money. But, if you're going to generate $10 million in fines over a year on 3 or 4 cameras and you're getting 30% of that.
Yes, really. If you're going down the road and it's a 50K and you're doing 50.5K, you're going to get a fine.
You're going to get a fine.
Not really, but I got nailed. I got nailed by one. It was
Yeah.
in a safety zone. I don't mind it being in a safety zone, but there was no sign of kids, no sign of crossing guards. It's right in front of Greendale School. There was nobody was there at the time, but it was after 4 o'clock. But I got nailed doing 61 in a 50.
The camera was there.
The camera was there.
The average fine is $116. So if you do get caught by one, you're probably going to get a fine for around that. Get your wallets out, another tax.
Yeah, mine was $75.
There you go. So, hey, if you want to speed, go ahead. If you just have to pay for it.
Yeah, well, it's easier for everybody to make money. A cop sitting there, it costs a lot of money. And when the cop is gone, everybody goes back to their bad habits. But if you got a camera there that's going to watch you all the time, Big Brother is watching you, that is the biggest issue. I remember this stuff coming up years before, and people were so adamant against it. No Big Brother watching us. It's against our rights, et cetera, et cetera. But now people have just kind of given into it. It's going to happen.
Well, you know what? It'll probably be passed. I mean, come on, they can't resist the money coming into the city. It's just too much money to say no to. The residents probably aren't going to like it too much because they don't like them now. I mean, we have the Blade Runner who cuts them down every time he gets a chance. So the Blade Runner is going to be running around, and yeah, we'll see. It should be a good discussion about him. I mean, you know,
he's going to have his work cut out for him because they're going to be everywhere. There's a new one. There's a new one right in front of Lady Scapular Church, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Because that's a school zone, so be careful there. Right?
On Thoroldstone.
Yeah. People like to speed down that road. I know. I try to cross it every once in a while. I got to watch it.
Yeah, well,
because you see a car way down there, and next thing you know, he's almost right on you.
Yeah, they got to slow down now, or else. But once we
face the fine,
at least the money will be coming to us. That's good.
Yeah, coming into our coffers.
Item 9.4, veteran crosswalks. Yes. I want veterans crosswalks, and
long overdue.
I cannot wait for them to come to fruition. It's been determined there will be two. One is at the entrance to Fairview Cemetery, actually inside the entrance on Stanley Avenue. I don't like that one so much. I like it more where people can see it. Unless you go to the cemetery, you won't even see this thing.
Well, lots of people walk there. Lots of people walk by there. It's going to be nice and bright because it's going to be right across, like sidewalk to sidewalk across the entrance.
Yeah,
red and white.
Yep.
So I think it's going to be seen. I like it anyway.
And then one at Main Street at Cummington Square, which makes perfect sense down there.
I like one right down here.
Yeah.
And I like one right in front of the cenotaph or closer to the cenotaph as possible downtown.
Yes.
Right at Clifton Hill. And one that the cenotaph in Stamford here we have, right? Do we have one here still?
Isn't there one was there one in Stamford Green? In the Stamford Green there?
Yeah. You can put one there? Yeah.
I think so.
You can put one close by there. Anywhere associated with the vets, maybe even down by the armory, because that's where they
that's a good idea. Yeah, they want to close that armory down, you know.
I know. I've had friends talk to me, but I haven't done much about it. I don't know. Maybe that's one of the places they can bring some of the stuff from Willoughby.
Yeah, put it in there.
That's another museum that's not promoted well enough.
So yeah, the crosswalks. They did an operating budget amendment of $75,000 to be funded by a one-time strategic transfer from special purpose reserves. I can't believe the squirrel's going to let it go.
I don't know.
Oh, she's tough.
I know. She might have any more room to store stuff. Maybe that's why some of us love to get out.
Yeah,
she wants new nuts.
Oh boy, you try to
get some of her old nuts out and put some new nuts in.
You try to grab a penny from her, and you're going to be making a hunk of copper wire. Believe me, that's how far you stretch it. She holds on to that money. Ooh.
Believe me, yeah. I got a little message from her once when I paid my taxes late because my computer thing didn't work. And then I got fined $60 or something. So I wrote a letter saying, "Hey, can I have that $60 back? If you see, I always pay my things on time. This was an accident." And I get a sharp retort. No.
That's it. No.
It's a fine. You didn't pay on time. That's it.
Yep. I got two letters for you. NO. So it'll be neat to see them anyway. The one at Fairview, I wish it was more. I admit though, there is the veterans graveyard there, right, where they have all the veterans graves, the crosses, and that. Mm-hmm. That's in there, and so yeah, it makes sense there. But I'd like to see it where it's more visible too, some more, right? We'll get more.
Yeah, on the main streets, any main street, I think.
The one thing I didn't understand though is, it's going to cost the city $75,000 on special reserves, somebody in the city has volunteered to raise money for it to actually pay for it, so it doesn't cost taxpayers a dime. And Mona Patel said she didn't want him to pay, and
Well, that,
I don't get it.
well, if the guy pays according any and he or she pays what is required for the kind of paint and the kind of
Yeah,
whatever it's required to have it last long. But thereafter, it would be the city's responsibility anyway.
to maintain it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I talked to the guy, and he said, "Yeah, we'll raise the money. We'll raise the money for it. I mean, we don't have to hit the taxpayers for it." And Mona Patel didn't want that. She said, Councilor Patel said, "No, the city should pay for it." And I'm going,
why?
"Well, we are the city. Taxpayers are the city. We're willing to chip in to do this, and it costs the city, the taxpayers, nothing. I mean, you do it off your sponsorships and that. I mean, that would be a good thing." So I don't know what happened to that, but I'll have to ask Lori Lococo. She might know. But there we go. We're getting them, and that's the main thing.
Lori the Oracle. Yeah.
Yep, Lori the Oracle. Yeah, we're getting them, and that's a great thing. Like, we're all set up for November 11th to do the Remembrance Day show. I hope they're in by then.
That'd be nice.
That would be
yeah.
really nice. That would be really nice. Item 9.5, unless you have something else after 9.4, like 9.4 and a half, but there isn't anything. I went through the numbers of the 35.5 million requested, only 25.6 million was used. And this is item 9.5. What was that?
That's the capital project closing and adjustments report.
Yes.
Yeah, because this gets involved. It gets involved.
It
so
is.
you have to really zero in. I mean, it's an easy read, but you have to pay attention, and you need time. Well, at least I do, because I can hear the gears grinding up there. It makes too much noise. I lose concentration.
Well, much like in 2023, they overestimated expenditures by about $10 million. So they directed the overage to reserve funds in 2024, which is something they always do. But it's problematic to me, because when you look at your ledger and you get to revenue, that's that number, and expenses, that's that number. And when you've overestimated jobs in the expense column and you're $10 million short, or whatever $1 million short, because you've overestimated, then taxpayers they're gonna say, "Oh, geez, we're 10 million short." Taxpayers are gonna have to make that up, or we're gonna have to make it up somehow, and usually taxpayers. Whereas if they estimated it right, then we wouldn't have to worry about that. We may have a zero increase. So this happens a lot. It's happened for 2 years in a row, and it also happens with the casino revenue. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of money that we have. And when you see them spending an extra $10 million with all these capital budget amendments, that's where it's coming from. But it's our money. Like, we shouldn't have to pay taxes if we have 10 million left over. That would wipe out our tax bill with 5 million left. So I get concerned when I see this kind of creative accounting, they call it.
Well, basically, talking about transferring from capital expenditure into the reserve fund back again. If the capital expenditure, let's say you expected it to be $12 million and comes under two, you get lucky. So that's not very often it happens, but it does. So that other 2 million, where does it go? It can go in the reserve fund or redirect it to another project.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly so. Or just give it back to the taxpayers in the form of a refund. If that revenue matches the expenses, then guess what? You're at zero. But by overestimating how much we're going to have to spend, and then the actual projects cost less, well, you got this money left over, and that should have been used to help our tax situation, especially in these tough times. So I see this and I get a little bit concerned. Go through it if you want. We'll see what they have to say at City Council, but that's my concern about it.
Well, it also brings up 3 attachments, and 2 capital projects were funded, but it also gets into the development charge reserves we just spoke about in another issue prior to this one. Developing charge reserves, funding, capital special purpose reserves, etc. So that sort of ties in with the one before that, the agenda, the item before that. It's I don't know. It gets into and it talks about of course, you're best off reading it. It's not a hard read, but there are 3 attachments in this
Yeah.
article: the projects to be closed, adjustments, post-closed out reports, and funding swaps. So I imagine that is like we're going to build the concrete pool table, but no, I'm going to go for the doggy exercise thing instead. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, there's always things added during the fiscal year. Like I say, there's like $10 million of capital expenditures. Right now, we're probably at 7 or 8 million already, with 3 months to go. Our fiscal year runs, for everybody's information, January the 1st through December 31st of each year. So there's still going to be more projects that we're going to be spending money on. They're pulling them out of reserves and all over the place. But if all this money's floating around, why are we paying 5% more? That's just my question. It's been my question. It's always my question.
Yes, nothing more important than FR 9-22 or G5722 or RF 63-21. Those are the really important ones.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, so that, never mind that. If you just go there, you can, never mind those little codes, just go ahead and read it. And it's very self explanatory, though, or at least it seems to be.
Yeah. Well, if you're a Philadelphia lawyer, you might be able to figure it out.
Mhm.
But listen to the show, because this is where they get into a lot of gaslighting and everything. If counselors have questions, you got everybody up there. You got the squirrel, you got the penguin. They're all yelling and talking about it and everything, right? And at the end of the
A
day,
regular menagerie, squirrel, penguin.
at the end of the day, we're looking at down the barrel of a 6% tax increase this year, as it stands right now. It'll probably change, but sometimes you have to wonder if they would just do things right. We may not, and I'm not saying it's crooked or anything. I'm saying there's a lot of ways to account for money and shifting money around, so it's very, very confusing and hard to figure out. When you have like Holdco, Niagara Holding Company, we had NRBB. We have a real estate company they wanted to get a hook up with to develop the Meteor Crater. There's a lot of stuff going on with money, and it's moving around pretty quick. A lot of times faster than the eye. The hand is quicker than the eye, and the pen is even quicker.
That's right. And the gab is even quicker than that.
Yes. Okay. Item 9.6 we're going to get to. I got a question about this, but I got to get to my third sponsor, Hamel Machine Company. And whenever industry, and Dave, you can attest to this, whenever industry moves into a town, the first thing they want to know is, where are the machine shops? Because time is money. When these industries break down, they can't have the machines sitting idle for hours or days. They need to have them fixed. And that's where a small machine shop like Hamel Machine comes in. They repair, they reverse engineer, they even fabricate it with their 3D printers and water jet cutters, a part that you need.
And innovate.
Innovate. That's one of the key things Hamel does. They go look at a machine, and if they can make it work better and more efficient, then that means the company will produce more and they'll make more. Either whether it's faster or just more and more products per hour. It's just the way it goes. Time is money. So that's the importance of these machine shops. And they've helped the wine industry. They've helped the agricultural industry. They've helped big companies like Rich's Products, not to mention the city and the region. They fix a lot of their equipment, right down to guys like us who have a need to have something fabricated, like a set of gates for your backyard. They can do it. They have the expertise. They have the personnel. They have the experience and the technical skill to do these things. That's why they're so important to Niagara Falls, and they've been here since 1948. And you know that, Dave.
Yes.
All important.
Yeah, it is. And having myself worked in the metal trades, I know how essential it is to industry. It is not just machining. It is welding. It is forming. It is all sorts of things like that. And of course, as it takes this, there are innovators in there. There are engineers and tradesmen who have got experience, who can figure stuff out, figure out how to fix it, how to innovate it, how to improve it.
There you go. Hamill Machine Company since 1948. Great corporate citizens. Go to their website, hamillmachine.ca, and you'll see exactly the kind of work they do, and it's going to blow you away. I guarantee it. Support our sponsors because they support the city, they support the show. Thank you very much, everybody watching the show today and listening on 4680Q Radio. Okay, item 9.6, Hoke Park and Fern Park improvements. And this is another capital budget amendment, like we were just talking about. Money that we allegedly don't have, but we find it somewhere. And it's $590,000 of money that we allegedly don't have. And speaking of Hoke Park, Dave, I don't know if you remember this. You've done most of these shows with me. Do you remember a year or two ago they were talking about Hoke Park and they got a grant from what the Commonwealth Games were in Brock University? What were they?
I don't know. It speaks of some money here, though.
Yeah, Commonwealth Games. They got $250,000 from those Commonwealth Games or something, and they had to throw in another 250 or 300 for these batting cages. Now, I haven't heard anything about them. When I drive by there, the batting cages is full of weeds and stuff. The tennis courts are full of weeds at Hoke Park. And my question is, whatever happened to that money and whatever happened to the batting cages? I don't know. I got to find that out.
In 2024, City Council capital budget included $55,000 in play court funding, further improvements. How code talks about basketball carts.
Yeah,
talks about $385,000 from the city. That's the capital budget. But I think didn't. So DNR got the contract. They were the lowest landscaping group, but didn't. There was also money added to offset the additional costs associated with the request. The GNBA, which is Greater Niagara Baseball Association, committed to increasing its contribution from $100,000 to $150,000, which is rather good. So it's not a standalone project, but what it looks like, in order to make it what they really want, and that I don't know where they're getting the money, obviously myself, but $55,000 has already been allotted, and so on and so forth. It breaks it all down here. So anyway, I can't really tell you where the money's coming from, whether it's coming from a reserve fund or whether part of it was already allocated. It seems to $55,000. The $385,000 has been approved already. So they must have fashioned it, put it into the budget somewhere along the line.
Yeah, I would imagine they would have. They need, like I say, $590,000 more, I think. But I don't know what. I just am wondering what happened to that $500,000 for those batting cages. That when I saw this, the first thing I thought of was, what happened to those batting cages? I didn't see them operate over there. It's right by my house, Hoke Park, and I've never seen anybody batting anything. I've seen them playing catch out there. I've never seen them batting, and the tennis court, of course, it's history. It's been history for a long time. So I don't know. Maybe somebody can answer that for me. I got to find out what happened to that $500,000. I got to go on a hunt.
If we don't see you again, we know you found it.
Yeah, I got it. Look for me in Vegas. But
then you'll
yeah,
be back quick enough.
So there's another bunch of money that we're spending there over and above the amount we approved in the 2025 budget.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, it's all down here in black and white.
I bet you they can't wait to get to November 27th or whenever the budget meeting is so they can refill that big pot with money and give her another go for 2026 budget.
So originally it was $450,000, which included $100,000, but it went up. But so the budget now is $385,000. That's our end, and then the multi-purpose court, of course, and then it was kicked in by the Baseball Association, another $150,000. That's where you get your price tag.
Are they? What are they actually doing? Does it say what they're actually going to do there? I can't wait to see the presentation.
Well, of course, the baseball league wants good diamonds, so that's probably part of the reasoning.
Okay.
Right, at least part of it. And so, of course, we've had the We've had the inevitable of unavoidable consultant fees of $62,600,
Yeah, oh yeah.
and then another additional
Gotta have
consulting
that.
fee of $18,000 later. Yeah, that's just so important.
Oh, that's for Fern Park too, of course, right?
Yeah.
Fern Park's going to
So
be
that's two
redone
parts.
too.
Yeah.
Where's that? Over in Silvertown? Fern Park? Is that in Silvertown or?
I can't remember. I think I've just passed from Park in one of my travels not long ago, but now it's
Well, you know,
lost in my memory bank.
did you know Houk Park used to be the city dump?
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, it used to be the city dump. They used to have the city dump there. If you go there, there's pipes coming out of the ground where there's gas that comes out of it because of it used to be a
Methane.
city dump.
Yeah.
Then they built Houk Park on it. When I was a kid, it was the city dump on Valleyway there.
Well, you know.
Just some trivia for everybody if you're interested in that. After 9.6, I have a very, very long lapse. So after 9.6, I don't know if you see anything there that's important, Dave. I really didn't. They're just things that are going to be done.
Well, I would like to know that like we find it difficult to communicate what the city's doing and what the projects are, but the city itself is trying to remedy that somewhat in 9.7 here, expansion of public notice circulation. Right. So I will mention that because it's very important that the average person know what the city's doing, know what's up, and it's up to the city to get that news out there and make it available. I mean, whether or not people are going to pay attention to it or not, but they can't complain if it's out there available for them to peruse. So I celebrate that effort and expansion of that.
Yeah, I think that came from a development that was going in on Lundy's Lane, and the BIA down there on Lundy's Lane said they didn't even know this development was going in. So they had a say in it. And I think it was Councillor Patel and maybe another counselor too. I think two of them said that it'd be really nice if they, because all they do is put these little signs up that there's going to be something going there, and if you miss them, so they were saying they should post it in more places so that the public and BIAs or anybody is going to be aware of what's going on there. I think that might have been the cause of um, this whole thing right here, which it's a good idea, really. You know, people should know what's going on in their neighborhood, and the BIAs definitely should know their business. Their business. They pay the tab for the BIAs, so I think that might have been where it came from.
Well, this also talks about the meeting in May 27, 2025, where the staff discussed this and wanted to get more information out of there. It was moved by Lori the Oracle again, right? And seconded by Chris Dombrowski.
Oh, okay.
Basically, get out there, get information out there. If you're going to be, a voter, an informed voter, it's up to you a lot of times to look into some of this stuff. And to make it easy to acquire, then what you do is you create more informed voters. And that's what you want. If you have an informed voter, that voter wants to go out and vote. If you have an uninformed voter, they think, I don't know anything, what difference would my vote make? So I think it's very good. Information is very good. Educating the public is very good.
Key. Mm-hmm. My key. Okay, anything else there? Because the next thing I'm at is 11.1 to 11.5, no flag raisings.
Well, you know what my feeling are on them. Any geopolitical flag, no, get it out of there.
Well, they just raised the Ukrainian flag and had this big thing, right? And I'm going,
well, what about the Russians?
I still don't have anything against Ukrainian people or anything, but in the middle of this conflict, there's a lot of hard feelings on a lot of different sides. And I always say, city politics should be nonpartisan. They shouldn't really be involving the geopolitics of the world, of the globe. And, they go up there, then the Palestinians want one, then the Hamas wants one,
Hamas will never get one.
No, I know, but, it just steamrolls into that. And sometimes it causes hard feelings. So that's why I just say no flags, and you don't have to worry about it. That's the way
I can understand the public mood towards the war in Ukraine and all that. And we have, probably getting well over 300,000 refugees. Ukrainian refugees, probably up to 500,000 now, living in Canada. So that's kind of good because they all have kin or friends or others that they can stay with, more than lean on the government. But so anyway, so that kind of thing bothers me. I'm not so sure all this other stuff like arthritis awareness or all these other flags going up, if anyone even really notices them.
I don't even mind. I don't mind the day. Let's call it arthritis awareness. Awareness.
Awareness.
Awareness. Awareness. Aware. Aware. I just made up a new word.
I think so. We'll put it in the lexicon.
I have awareness, but I don't mind those. A week, I don't care about that so much. But raising flags and that, I don't know. That's just
so. Yeah. So you see what happens when you put up the Ukrainian flag. Well, who's got a beef with the Ukrainians right now? The Poles do. Of course, the Russians do. Are you minimizing? Are you kind of angering the Russians? We've got lots of Russians in town too. What about the Turks? What about the what about the Bulgars, the Moldovans? Everybody has their own.
Azerbaijanis.
Azerbaijan, they're a little bit farther away, but you never know. Maybe some of their oil goes through there.
Yeah, so I say no flag raisings. That's just the way I've said it from day one. I stand behind.
You said Azerbaijan right this time.
Azerbaijan. That's what it is.
It's only taken 3 years.
Oh, I have awareness.
You have awareness of Azerbaijan. Then.
Anything else in the 11s you have to think, or in the 10s? Maybe you want to talk about?
What was it? Consent agenda. Cancellation reduction of refund taxes. Yeah, that's probably pretty good and overdue. Basically, what they're saying is that any kind of tax break somebody's got, they're going to look at it very carefully and they're going to cancel a bunch of the tax breaks and actually charge them the going rate for whatever they have. If some place burned down, then so you might get a break on the taxes.
You'll get a rebate on your taxes because there's no building there to be taxed on anymore.
Yeah,
there's a lot of those entries you can read through them. You can see who's getting them and everything. So a lot of people put up money and then when they finish, they get some back, and it's just that kind of a thing.
Sports Wall of Fame. I don't know when I'm going to get on there. I was a famous wrestler with the double reverse eye gouge is my signature move. I want a statue of myself giving somebody an eye gouge.
Well, you might get one. Somebody's got to nominate you, but there was about 10 nominations I saw in there, and I recognized a couple of them. But
no, I don't.
Congratulations, all of them.
Yeah, congratulations. It takes quite a bit to get that kind of.
I should get an Over the River Hall of Fame.
Oh,
I would be in the Over the River Hall of Fame.
I don't know.
Back in the day,
I might match you on that one.
There you go. Right. It's all what you're famous for. I didn't see anything else. And when we get into the item in the 12 items, the one I said was 12.1 about respect, that thing about respect. And I think that's a big one. I think you can't legislate respect. It's got to be earned. So, they're trying to have some kind of rules about respect and everything else. But the thing is that I just think today society has no respect for anything. I don't know how they're going to ever enforce that or do anything with that. It's just the way people are today. There's not a lot of respect out there, and it doesn't matter anymore. At least in the old days, you used to have to respect for everybody. Like the mayor was like a big deal in the city, right?
Yeah. He had. He had. He walked around. He had a big medal.
He
kissed all the babies. Yeah,
everybody wanted to know the mayor, but when your mayor's like everywhere and on TV and every day and everything else, I mean, it
kind of rose the mystique of a mayor. Yeah.
It does. Yeah. He's just like and that's like with kids these days too. And you talk about the respect part of it. It's kids these days, their parents are their friends. They can't, like our parents, we were kind of a little bit. We respected them. We were kind of afraid of them a little bit too.
Yeah, there was a dividing line. Yeah. It was us and you.
Yes.
We knew that they had to take care of us and all that.
We love you, but the wooden spoon's coming out.
That's right. my mother's heeled shoe.
Bang. Today you can't do that though. They go to psychologists and you gotta so it's all different. I mean, the mayor's position at one time was a pretty big shot. You were a big shot in the city. Yeah, Today it's more like, he always wears suit and three-piece suit and tie. He wouldn't be caught without it. There's none of this, brown shoes with a blue suit and going out there without a suit or jeans and that. It's just the times have changed. So they're trying to get the respect back, to have respect for the politicians. I yell and scream at them, and I agree with that. I
I
agree.
I think it's a deeper thing. I think respect is not in our culture anymore; is being reduced. Mutual respect all the way around, and of course, people elected these people to represent you. You can have all the complaints you want about them, but your fellow citizens elected them there. Because your fellow citizens elected them, you have to have some kind of respect. You can you can drag them down and you can complain about them all you want when they're in city council or taking a position, but as a person, you have to respect them.
Yeah. Well, you respect the position.
Yeah,
You respect the position. Like,
sure.
he is the mayor, whether you like Jimmy or not. Doesn't matter. He's the mayor of the city.
Yeah, like I'm not Catholic, but I certainly would respect the Pope. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly, exactly. There are these authority figures, and it just that's kind of something you respect, right? I mean, and people think that I don't respect them because I'm always on them about stuff and I have nicknames for them and that. But at the end of the day, when I see them on the street, I shake their hand and say, "How you doing?" I mean, I don't yell and scream at them. That's not what I do. I don't.
Yeah, well, the communications, I suppose maybe it's the problem. Part of the problem is the media belittling the elected officials, but actually, you're just trying to find out what they're doing, if they're doing what's right. If it's dumb, we point it out. If it's
Yep.
smart, we point it out.
Well,
But you know,
that's called holding them responsible.
exactly.
You know, that's holding them responsible. I respect their position, but if they're not doing a good job, so what are they talking about here? They want to have rules for respect and everything else, and that's it. But you know what I got to do? What, just for a second, I got to respect my sponsors. So I have to get to
Okay,
my
yeah,
last
yeah.
sponsor, Niagara Parks Commission, and the Niagara Parks Commission is custodian of 32 miles of the most beautiful parkway in Canada, maybe in the world. It's just amazing the job they do down the park, with the centerpiece being the seventh wonder of the world, or one of the seven wonders of the world, Niagara Falls. But they don't stop there. They don't stop at just keeping everything nice down there, just beautiful down there with their School of Horticulture and their flowers and everything, and their manicured gardens. They also have attractions, so when you go down there, you can do something else except look at the falls. And they have to do with history. They have to do with excitement, zip lines, the old power plants that you can go in and take a tour. These power plants supplied power to the Northeast for in the early 1900s. They're an engineering marvel. You can go in there and see them. Go down the waste tunnels, go down to the river, scenic tunnels. Look it up at the falls. They have so many great, great attractions down there. And the newest one, and I've got to see this, is Niagara Takes Flight. Did you hear this?
I heard of it. Yeah.
Oh, everybody who's coming out of there is freaking out. It opens on August 29th, I think, to the public. But it takes you right down the Niagara River, immerses you in history, because we have a lot of history. The War of 1812, Battle of Queenston Heights. I mean, there's so many great things. The story of Lower Seacord. We take you right up the river, up the falls. You see it from front to back, back to front, Lake Ontario to Lake Erie, with history along the way. It's supposed to be spectacular. And that opens August 29th. So I think even me, who I don't do anything, I think I got to go check this out.
Yeah, me too.
I think I got to.
I haven't. Have you gone down the power plant thing? Gone down?
No.
That's one I wanted to do.
No, the Rankin Power Plant. And this brings me to another point. The people who live in this city, us, we don't take advantage of this. I can hear the falls from my front porch, but very rarely do I go down and look at the falls. And
Well,
so
I can hear it 24/7 for you. I used to
Yeah.
live in Ontario Avenue. Yeah.
Yeah, right on. So, you should get down there, take advantage of their attraction passes. You can get a bunch of attractions for a low price. You can get parking passes down there, and I think if you're from Ontario, you can get a $50 parking pass to let you go anywhere you want and park. And parking's not cheap if anywhere these days. It's fantastic. Niagara Parks Commission, please go down and support our corporate sponsor, because they are great custodians of the beautiful parkway, Butterfly Conservatory, School of Horticulture. They have it all. Niagara Parks Commission.
The Whirlpool.
Glen, Whirlpool, Great Gorge Trip. You stand right beside a Grade 6 rapids. It's amazing.
Got to be careful down the Whirlpool. You might meet the abominable Gary.
Yeah, the green
bastard from parts unknown.
From where?
From parts unknown.
From parts unknown.
We know that he's in the Whirlpool from time to time. So.
Anyway, support our sponsors. They support the show. Niagara Parks Commission. NiagaraParks.com for all the information you need. Dave, I'm in the 12s. I don't know if you got anything else, and they're just basically giving the okays to all the bylaws that were talked about before. I didn't see anything in there that is outrageous. Did you?
No, I don't. I think that's it for me too. Too specific, unexpected. Oh, yeah. So that's
the only one I want to talk about was that respect thing. That was the only thing that I read that I thought, oh, that's a good topic.
Well, that really is a good thing, and the resolution there is basically this. I don't know how much time you have.
No, we got time.
Okay. The resolution is it now therefore be resolved that Niagara Regional Council supports the Elect Respect Pledge and commits to treat others with respect in all spaces, public, private, and online. Don't we already have that? Anyway,
right.
Reject and call out harassment, abuse, and personal attacks.
Yes.
Focus debate on ideas and policies, not personal attacks.
Yes.
Help build a supportive culture where people of all backgrounds feel safe to run for and hold office. I don't know where that. I think everybody already does. But anyway,
I don't know. There's some pretty crazy things that go on, like.
But who, like, I think every culture here is pretty much supported if they want to go on. Anyway, like, you've got Italians, you've got, Patel's probably Indian, right? And
yeah.
So, so that seems to be working. And call on relevant authorities to ensure the protection of elected officials who face abuse or threats, etc. That's an important one.
Yeah. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's the bottom line. Don't do it.
Yeah, you're gonna have a police officer knock on your door. You don't want that.
If you have a disagreement with what they're doing with your money and that, the time to get back at them is in the voting booth. That's what we need. We don't need people yelling and screaming at these guys and threatening them. That we need is the people who aren't satisfied to go out on voting day and vote against them. That's your most powerful weapon.
Yeah.
It's not yelling and screaming like I do. It's not any of that. It's not any of that stuff. It's getting out on voting day. That's where your voice counts and your protest is lodged.
And the last one, model integrity and respect by holding one another to the highest standards of conduct. Oh. Yeah, certainly. I think it's kind of analogous to every young man, or in my generation, I was taught to treat every woman like a lady right off the bat. Treat every woman like a lady, whether or not she's a lady or not, or an old man like a gentleman, right away. Begin there. So no matter who they are, whether they're a bum on the street or they're, a pontiff, whatever, you treat them first as a gentleman or a lady, and then work from there. If they don't deserve it, yeah. But there you start out well. You begin by treating them as a lady or a gentleman. If you do that, you'll win.
It's funny. I see people from my childhood, like older people, like my friends' parents and that. I still call them Mr. and Mrs.
So do I.
I can't call them by their first name. I feel funny. But you see these kids today, they're calling their parents by the first name. Hey, Joe, where are you? I'm going, like, what?
Oh, Harry's mom, I called her Mrs. Reed almost at the end.
Oh, I would.
She wanted me to call her Lorna, but I would try, but I would always go back to Mrs. Reed.
I could never, just wouldn't, I would feel funny saying that. Hi, Lorna, how you doing? No, Mrs. Reed.
My old teachers, too. Right?
Yeah.
I would tell them, it's hard for me to call them by the first name. Even
I know, it's funny. I'm friends with one of our, the physics teacher, John Mermack, right? Great guy. And he was always Mr. Mermack. But I'm friends with him on Facebook, and I do talk to him once in a while, right? And I have to stop myself from saying Mr. Mermack because it's kind of stupid now that, he's in his probably maybe 80s or early 80s, and I'm in my early 70s. And, calling him Mr. seems out of place but I still gravitate to that the odd time. Like I can't help it.
Yeah,
It's
because
just
we learn respect, and
yeah,
I think it's a good thing actually, and I think that's something that we should have mutual respect for one another. And if we do that, if we have that kind of, you know, sort of decorum.
yeah. Well, I still like nicknames though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still
Yeah.
in there. We used to call our math
Well,
teacher.
we can't hide the fact that we're immature.
We used to
I
call
mean,
her.
we might be, well over seniors by now, but the maturity factor never did get in there. So they have to respect that of us.
Yeah.
Right. So,
It's just part of the way it is.
yes.
Like we called our physics teacher liver lips and our math teacher X squared. So it was like the liver lips and X squared show, right? And that's how everybody knew him. I mean, our vice principal was God.
Yeah. Yeah.
They even had him in the yearbook in a cloud. They
Did
put him
they?
in a big cloud,
Oh,
God,
yeah.
in the yearbook. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, we had a pretty crazy class back in the day. Anyway, we're getting out of here. That's about it for today. The show starts at around 4 or 5 tomorrow afternoon. You can see it on NiagaraFalls.ca, YouTube, the Kojigo channel. Sometimes they broadcast it. Or you can go right to City Hall and watch. But don't carry a sign or else Mayor Jim will throw you out. King Jimmy over there.
Will that stuff on your shirt thought of a sign?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
See that? Please use it. The guy holding his brain. Please use it. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, I will go through the agenda again because there's some late additions, sometimes Tuesday morning or Monday afternoon. If there are new ones, I will talk about them tomorrow. And if there's any of these ones I want to get into more depth in, I'll get into that tomorrow. Otherwise, it's just my regular trash talking Tuesday show at noon. I thank Dave for coming in.
Thanks,
We
Daz.
say happy birthday to our buddy Gary Wilkins.
Hey, Gary, I got to get you a flowery shirt, man.
There you go. He wants one. I'm telling you,
know,
he wants one.
Well, he tried to rip one right off me. I don't know if you saw that on Facebook. See him try to rip it right off me.
Yeah,
Got so jealous.
He loves that shirt.
Yeah,
That's all I can tell you.
I know he wouldn't want to wear it, but I did suspect that he wanted to make a tent out of it, but that's
it'd be a little bit big on him.
Yeah, that's what
it'd be big on him. Gary. Anyway, you guys, my name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from 4680Q. Have a great day. It looks like rain out there, but you never know. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless you all. Promises made, promises kept. Tomorrow at noon, I'll be here. Have a great day, everybody. Say goodbye, Dave.
Goodbye, Dave.
There you go.